Welcome to the fourth lesson of the Interior Design Fundamentals course. My name is Valerie and I'm the owner and lead designer of Viola House. And in this lesson, we'll be covering how we create millwork drawings that are easy to use, easy to read by everyone during the project. Millwork drawings is where your design vision becomes actually buildable. Whatever it is, a custom headboard, kitchen cabinetry, built-in bench, your drawings need to be precise to ensure that they can build exactly as you planned them. In this class, I'll walk you through how I built millwork drawings using Rayon design. In my experience, this is the program that allows you to build them faster and more efficient and precise. We'll go through line work and dimensions to materials and annotations, and I'll share my tips and tricks and visual standards I use to keep my drawings clean, efficient, and client-ready. And as always, you can download a free template in the description below and follow along. So let's jump in. So Millwork Shop Drawings are not just for fabricators, they're one of the most important communication tools for the entire project team, including clients, contractors. So today we'll review the Millwork Shop Drawings that we've prepared for this project. It's a lot of information, it's a lot of details, and a good millwork drawing should be as detailed as possible. You should include your plan, elevations, a separate section for each element, also dimensions, materials, construction details, all of this to make sure that you can minimize your mistakes and everyone is on the same page and everyone understands what the direction is, what you're working on, what specifically is requested from the contractor, from the fabricator. Can it be done? When you do it as detailed as this eliminates a lot of questions and a lot of back and forth between all the parties, everyone, clients, contractors, they already have this information available. So think of it as a mini instruction manual. The clearer it is, the more detailed it is, the smoother fabrication and installation process will be. So in this drawing set, we're focusing on bedroom, kitchen, and wardrobe. And as you can see, there are different views of the millwork drawings. So right here, for example, we have a plan view that's kind of the bird's eye view that you can use as part of the floor plan. There is an elevation view. So this is a view looking straight up to the bed. There's also a detail view or section view, which is a little bit more detailed into how this bed frame is going to be constructed, how it's going to be hung, and what support is needed and how it's going to be built. So same thing in this bedroom, you have the top view as a floor plan that kind of gives you a general idea. You have the elevation that has a little bit more detail of what the items are made from, how it's constructed, and then you have a section cut out in two different viewpoints that tells you how the nightstand is going to be attached and how the headboard is going to be built as well. To help us be more specific, we like to use annotations like this that specify what it is, what materials the items are made from, any kind of specific information that we want to highlight so everyone is aware and everyone is on the same page. And there are a couple of ways of how you can do that. One way is to add an arrow. So we can add an arrow like this. So let's do it to the junction box, for example. And if we want to keep it consistent in terms of style with this one, we select this arrow right here, then click Pick Style, and then click on this one. So as you can see, it matched it, but it did it in the opposite direction. So to flip it, we're just gonna click this button right here to flip horizontally. And right here, it made it more consistent with how it looks like. Then you can add a text box right here. And say that it's a junction box, for example. And again, same thing. We select the text, pick style, and select this item right here to make it look exactly the same. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to add a leader. So we'll do it for this LED style so you could see. You can do it like this. There you go. And we're gonna write LED light. You can even add the hyperlink here if you want. And again, if you want to keep text consistent, you can just pick style and click here to make it look exactly the same. Okay. And of course, you can change and edit the style of your arrows, edit the style of how you want this to look like. So if you want the text to be blue or red, you can do that as well. So any color, you can keep it black. You can change the opacity too. And if you want to change the stroke, you can even add dash, and there are different options. So we can do dots, for example. And if you don't like the 10 increments, we can change it to 5 or maybe even 2. And the weight could be changed too, so you can make it a little bit bigger as well. So lots of different options. I think I'll prefer this hidden line here, but I don't want it to be this black, so I'm gonna just switch the opacity to make it a little bit lighter and less visible. But the text I want to keep black, so there it is. Perfect. And to make it even easier, you want to keep the graphic styles consistent between the whole drawing set to make it more readable for people and more uniform across the whole section. You can also build your own annotation and symbols style guide for your team, for example, or to include on the drawing so everyone knows what the expectations are. So again, you don't have to go back and forth, and you know that all of those things are already specified, and you know what they would look like from project to project. In my opinion, professional millwork drawings doesn't have to be just technical, they can also be beautiful. And visualizing it very well helps everyone, especially clients that might not have the mindset and the ability to see how the project will come together. This helps a lot, but it also is packed with different kinds of information and measurements and all kinds of things that are helpful to the fabricator, to the contractor, to the vendors of the appliances, and all kinds of things. So for this instance, we added the tile backsplash at the back. And of course, you can change the color of the kitchen, the material, anything that you like. So you can just click here into edit style. And then in the fill section, you can select gradient effect, texture, hatch, or image. So I want to select an image, and I'm going to use this wooden texture right here. So there you go. This is how it has changed very quickly, very efficiently. And again, if you want to see a little bit more, you can definitely change the opacity. So for example, we can use it as, let's do 75%. So it communicates the intent, but you can still see all of these drawers, how everything is going to be constructed, how everything is going to be made. So it's very easy to understand. So there you go. And this is definitely an image that I would love to send to clients because it communicates the intent a lot better, and to make sure that you're on the same page and they know what they're approving, they know how it's going to look like, even without 3D renders or any kind of complicated collages. You can just use the same drawing in your client deliverables as well. So this is really nice feature. And of course, all of the items that you see here in the drawing, like the fridge, the dishwasher, faucet, oven, you don't need to draw them by hand. They're already saved in the library of Rayon design. So if you go right here under blocks and click on library, you can see all kinds of different options, and they're also organized by room, by different category. Or you can also search it up. Let's say if we want to see coffee machine and we want to add it to the drawing as well. Let's do this one, for example. So you just drag it into the drawing. You can adjust the size and scale if you want. And another thing that I really like is that all of the items have different viewpoints. This is a top view, for example, but you don't really see it here because it's going to be hidden by the upper cabinets. So we want to make sure that it's visible here on this drawing. So we go to the right side into the block instance, click on this item here. And as you can see, there are different views of the same item. So for example, we're going to change it to the front view. Gonna make it slightly bigger. I'm gonna place it right here on the counter. And there you go. So it's very easy and very intuitive, and saves you a ton of time as well. Another feature that I really like in Rayon design is using especially for millwork is when you have millwork drawings like this that are kind of sliced, so you could see the different wall materials, you can see an insulation, you can see the flooring, all kinds of things, and you don't want to make them different colors and create a legend so everything looks kind of out of place. It's just a whole mess. There is a hatch feature, so you can select this item right here, for example, and instead of color, you can do either texture or hatch. So there are different types of patterns that you can use to communicate what kind of material this is without attracting too much attention to it. These are all kinds of different options, and you can use them, you can modify them, you can change the stroke, you can change the color, add the background, whatever you want to do. So it's very, very creative. And of course, if you have multiple blocks and you want to match their style, you don't have to do it manually every single time. You can just kind of duplicate it into the same block. So you just select the block that you want to update, pick the style that you like, and it's going to copy it right here. So it's going to look exactly the same. So as you can see, you can easily create all kinds of drawings in Rayon design, and you can do it all in one program, which is really great. You don't have to export the files, you don't have to upload them somewhere else. All of this is done in one place, and that makes the process much, much faster. When you work on large-scale projects, you want all the documents to be very specific and organized, and the title page like this one helps you do exactly that. So you can add different kinds of information, for example, your company name, the project. For example, this one is for a shelf nightstand. You can add project address, notes, scale, date when it was edited, who it was edited by, if there are multiple people on your team. You can also add a section with revisions, what kind of revisions were made and when. So all of this information really helps you keep track of all the updates and all of the information during the project. So I would definitely do that. And when you're creating millwork drawings, it's important to make sure that you include all kinds of different information from different viewpoints as well. So as you can see here, we have a floor plan. So just kind of a view from the top, side view that indicates how the headboard is going to be constructed, what's needed to make sure that we can actually build that. And we have a front view as well that gives you a little bit more information about the materials and how the items are positioned in the space. And same thing here, it's a different bedroom, but same type of idea. We have a floor plan, kind of the top view, the headboard elevation, so the side and front view here as well, and the headboard elevation, so just the overview of all the dimensions of how everything comes together in the end. And of course, to keep track of all of that, it's great to use the to keep track of that and make sure that everyone understands what you're trying to achieve here. It's great to have the titles. So we just use this simple format and keep them consistent throughout your drawing set to make just not to distract too much from the drawing set, but to make sure that everything is annotated and everything is very clear and organized. So another suggestion that I would love to share that helped me save so much time is to create a new model with all of your millwork elevations, everything that you worked for in the past. And that will be your kind of internal library. So you can just reference that and you can adjust things as you go. It's much easier than starting every drawing from scratch, so it saves you a lot of time. So right here, for example, I have the title sheet. So I just copy it as export and then we paste it right here. Okay, so as you can see, it's much faster to do it this way and just edit this information in the properties and just change the project name, change the drawing name, and everything's going to be updated much easier. And of course, same idea for any kind of architectural details or legends, for example, as well. If you know that you're using the same type of materials or same type of construction, you can just select these items from here and copy and paste them into your working drawings for a new project. So that saves you a lot of time. It takes a little bit of time to build the library, and the more projects you do, the easier it gets. But it's definitely worth doing that and investing time in doing that. You can make your process much, much faster. If you have any questions or you need a little bit more guidance, you can now book a one-on-one demo with Rayon team in the description below. That wraps up my Millwork drawing secrets. I hope that this lesson gave you clarity and confidence and tools in order to create beautiful and detailed millwork drawing. With Rayon, you can bring your millwork ideas to life and manage all of the stages in one place, from concept to construction. Don't forget to download your free template below and try building your own blocks, annotation styles, and reference models. See you there!